Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and today we're going to be fixing up this vintage MEGO Shazam figure. Now often when I get sent stuff in, they've been repaired before, and that is really all that needs to be fixed on this Shazam, because the figure itself is actually not too bad a condition. It's needed a bit of a clean. I've also restrung it and I've washed the uniform, and as you can see from a sort of distance it looks alright, but at some point in this figure's history it has been repaired, or the uniform has been repaired. You can see here that someone has re-sewn a big chunk of the leg here, and if we open up there you can see all of the seams have obviously come undone, and someone's done a pretty amateur job at repairing that. So the overall figure looks a little bit rougher when you get closer to it, and that's really a lot of the stuff I have to do with restorations, is sort of undoing a repair that's been done a long time ago and then redoing it so that it looks a bit better, and that's what we're going to be doing with this Shazam today. Now this was very kindly donated to me by Bob James, along with a whole load of other vintage dolls, so I want to say a big thank you to him, and let's get straight on and see what we can do to make this uniform look a lot better. So the first thing I do is always sort of check to see what is damaged on it. The cape actually isn't in too bad a condition. There's a few little sort of stray threads coming off there, but overall that's not bad, and after I'd washed it, it came up pretty nice, so I'm going to leave that doesn't need much doing. Now we come on to the figure itself. Again, as I said, I've actually restrung this, so the body is all fine. It just needed a new bit of elastic because that was getting a bit sort of tired and loose, so I've done that already. And as you can see, if we look at the uniform, this is where the main problems are. Someone has re-sewn all of the seams, and they've used white cotton there, which makes it really visible, and it's just not done particularly neatly. So if we take the boots off, they're fine. We can see there's still a few more seams coming open down on the leg there. That seam is starting to come apart, and again there's a few more sort of just bits of repair done. Seems like this uniform basically split where most of these uniforms do. Along the seam it just sort of comes undone, and someone's re-sewn all of that. Again, a little bit more on the shoulder, and if we turn it around you can actually see the top of where the belt joins is also, actually that's torn a bit, so that needs a bit of a repair. So it's not much sort of work to do. It's just going to take a little while because we have to unpick all of these previous repairs and then do them again. The easiest way to do all of this, as with all sewing, is to take the outfit off and then turn it inside out so you have full access to the seam. So let's take this uniform off, we'll turn it inside out, and then you can see exactly where it's been repaired and where we have to remove the old sewing. Now I've got the outfit turned inside out, you can clearly see what the problem is. The original sewing was done in a red thread, but where this has been repaired, whoever did it has done it in a white thread, and that just makes it so obvious that this whole outfit has been fixed and re-sewn at some point. So what we've got to do is very laboriously unpick all of this sewing, and it's going to take quite a while because it looks to me like, I think that some of this has been done with a sewing machine, not by hand, so it's all quite tightly done, as you can see all the way up here. So really all you can do is take a very fine pair of scissors and start trimming and chopping these threads and pulling them out. It's probably going to take me about 20 minutes to get all of this old sort of repair taken out, and then once we've done that we can then start doing a modern repair, and we're going to do it all with thread that is in a red colour so that it isn't visible, and that should make a massive difference to this. So let's get unpicking. Now that I've removed all of the old thread, you can see that the uniform actually starts to look just a lot neater, and obviously it's got all the holes in it, but we can fix those. It's just the fact it doesn't have any white thread in it. So we are going to be replacing that with red thread, and that's what should have been done in the first place. Now I've picked out a couple of different threads here, and I'm going to be using the one that matches most closely. So that's a bit more of a burgundy red, and this is a sort of nice vibrant red, and I think that's the one that matches best. So that is what we will be using. I've got a small amount here put on a needle and thread, and I'm just going to work my way around stitching up all the seams. I can clearly see where there's holes or where the sort of stitching has come apart. So really it's just a process of working my way back around and resewing what was once repaired with white thread, but doing it all with red thread. And I'm also going to repair that slight tear there on the back and some other bits around the shoulders. But once that's done, this outfit should look pretty good again. So let's get sewing. I've now sewn up all of the seams that have come undone, but as you can see, the seam on the other leg, actually the fabric has torn a bit, so there's a piece missing. You can see here that it doesn't quite line up. It shouldn't be too much of a problem because I can just sort of pull that over and re-sew it a little bit sort of tighter, I suppose. It will just fit on his leg a little bit tighter, but once that's sewn up like that, I don't think you'll notice it. It just means that I just have to sort of pay attention to what I'm doing as I sew along, but I think the end result will look the same. So let's get that bit sewn up, and then we can try this on the figure. With all the sewing done, I can now turn this outfit back round the right way, and we can test it on the figure. Sometimes it's easier to use something like a pen to sort of turn this back the right way, because certainly my fingers are slightly too large to deal with these MEGO outfits. They're just a little bit too thin and they're too sort of small for my fingers to squeeze through, so I often just use a pen, and you can sort of start pushing everything round the right way. Action Man outfits are a bit easier just because of the scale of them, but these MEGO ones, yeah, I certainly struggle with having too large fingers to get this turned out the right way. And there we go, that's the outfit back on Shazam. And as you can see, just by swapping the thread to be the correct colour, you can hide all of the sort of the repairs that you've done. Even if you're not a great sewer, if you do it using the right colour thread, you can hide it pretty well. You know, no one's going to know that this has been repaired, and it just looks a lot more displayable. And I have to say, this is something that I do quite a lot when sort of getting old toys in. At some point during its life, the sort of sewing will have come undone, and a parent or maybe even the child would have re-sewn it just with whatever they had. And if they didn't have the right colour thread, you know, like on this one when they used a white thread, it becomes a really obvious repair. So by undoing it and re-sewing it using the correct thread, you can easily fix these things and make them look very displayable. This Shazam now looks really in very good condition. It's certainly a very displayable piece, and it didn't take me that long to do. I'd say this probably has taken me about half an hour to unsew it and resew it using the correct thread. And as I say, that is now a very displayable item. So I hope this video has been of interest to you. If it has, then please make sure and hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. Another big thank you to Bob James for very kindly sending in this, along with a whole load of other toys, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.